Hook off the jab sports. We back. What's going on, guys? Long time no chat. Just recently passed, Israel Adesanya, the champion, fought Sean Strickland, the misfit. And to the surprise of many, Sean Strickland beat the champion and is now the new champion. And I wouldn't be surprised if it hasn't settled in for most people yet, because the way that the fight went down was a shocker. But if you pay attention to the fight itself, I watched the fight back and I just wanted to watch it one more time before I spoke about it, because Sean Strickland really did make it look easy. And how was he able to pull that off? How was he able to accomplish making a fight against Israel Adesanya look as easy as it did? Some people are saying it was, to the fault of Israel that it looked so easy, in the sense of Izzy wasn't in the right mind frame. Izzy was this, Izzy was that. There was a whole bunch of different reasons or excuses people were coming up with. But here's the truth. Sean Strickland, a famous martial artist once said, "Don't fear the man that throws 10,000 kicks once." He said, "Fear the man that throws one kick 10,000 times." So don't fear the man that has 1,000 different styles. Don't fear the man that knows how to throw a 10,000 different punches from different angles and all this stuff, or kicks or whatever it is they're throwing. No, he says, fear the man that throws the same strike 10,000 times. You know it's coming. You know what he's going to throw. But he's so good at doing it that it's nearly impossible for you to stop. It's going to be a task for you. And most people won't be able to come out victorious on the other end. And what Sean Strickland demonstrated was just that. Basics. Boxing. That's all he needed. And apparently he's a Jiu-Jitsu black belt. So he didn't even get it. He didn't even go into his bag, so to speak. He didn't even do that. How good is his Jiu-Jitsu? I don't know. Who knows? He says it don't work. In an interview he was in, he said Jiu-Jitsu don't work. So we don't even know what he can do with his grappling or his wrestling or anything like that. But did he need it to become champion? No, he didn't. And all he was doing that whole fight was throwing 1-2s. 1-2s. Sean Strickland came into the fight thinking defense first. He was reactive when he needed to be. He was getting off first with his jab and finding his target, whereas Adesanya couldn't find his jab, or anything else for that matter. And even he said he couldn't find Strickland. He couldn't find him. And another thing that Strickland was doing well was he was also turning his checks into jab kicks or teeps or front kicks, or however you want to call it, right? So he was just doing many things well, Adesanya he could not comfortably be offensive because Strickland was happy to oblige every time he tried to get his lick in. So every time Adesanya tried to get going, Strickland was prepared to go toe-to-toe with him. He was prepared to counter him. He was prepared to take one to give one. He was prepared to throw his when Adesanya was prepared to throw his. And that meant that Adesanya could not get settled in. Couldn't get comfortable. You understand? And Strickland did it very well. His defense was looking second to none that night. And another thing that Strickland did very well was walk back Adesanya the entire fight. Basically kept Adesanya on defense for majority of the fight, or at least it seemed that way. And Adesanya just didn't look comfortable in there. And for whatever reason, it could be for any reason, but from how it looked to me, it was because Sean Strickland knew who he was and had confidence that Adesanya could not handle who he was, and went in there and dominated the fight. They said he didn't have the power. He dropped Adesanya. You know, it was beautiful to watch. Yeah, you know, I think that it just goes to show you, and boxing is my first love when it comes to combat sports. Yes, boxing could be frustrating at times, but in any martial art, it doesn't matter what martial art you tend to favor, or if you get involved with it, any kind of martial art. The only reason why you want to do Jujitsu is because you don't want to get clocked with a punch. The only reason why you get involved in martial arts in general, if you start any martial arts that's a striking martial art, the first thing they do is show you the jab. They show you how to punch, because it's the most, in my opinion, lethal, blunt force trauma. It's the most direct. It's the most, it's everything you need, and it's the most natural way of getting the job done. Boxing. A lot of, I think Jiu-Jitsu is nice. I enjoy Muay Thai. I enjoy wrestling. But tonight, the boxer with the basic 1-2, good defense, the shoulder roll, adapted for MMA. The man that was saying, I believe I'm one of the best boxers out there, you know, came out and showed you that he practiced his basics. He practiced what he knows he could do, what he does best. He practiced that 10,000 times. The same thing. So there was no confusion on how it got done. So congratulations to Sean Strickland. They underestimated him. You know, a lot of people were making jokes about him. They were talking about him crazy because he don't talk like them. So he has to be, there's something wrong with him. But for some reason, they act like the man don't know who he is. They acting like they don't know, like they acting like the man don't know who he is. He know who he is. He knows who he is. Your issue is going to be when you get in there is, do you know who you are? Because he's going in there to see. One of the craziest things I saw was at the end of the fight when he started talking to Adesanya. I got goosebumps. I said, this man really got a problem. He really got a problem. He really is off. But he's off in a masterful way. He loves what he does. And you could see he fears nobody. And usually people that are willing to stand on their own and be who they are, people have an issue with those type of people. Whenever you want to be you, and you don't want to conform, people tend to have something to say about you before everybody else. So if this Sean Strickland win didn't settle in with you yet, you're still surprised. Chances are it's because you're looking at somebody who knows who they are and you realize that you may not know who you are yet. And now you see a man at the other end looking at you, ready to force you to see who you are. And you might not be able to do anything about it. It was a beautiful display of mastery by Sean Strickland. A man, you could see that he sat down and studied and practiced and dedicated himself. Adesanya could have been going through anything. I believe he was going to lose that fight. I mean, from what I saw. Because it wasn't about... Sean Strickland wasn't the more skilled fighter. He wasn't the more skilled fighter. He wasn't the more athletic fighter. He wasn't going into the fight. But what he was the hungrier fighter, that's for sure. He wanted it. He knew what people were going to say about him. He knew. And he fought like a fighter that didn't have no time for that. He wanted to prove people wrong. He wanted to show people who he was and who he knows he is. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to him, you know. And one of the things that I hope for him is that any issues he's going through internally within himself, you know, that he can overcome that, you know, find grace and overcome that. Because I think he has a lot to offer. And this world will overlook all your positives because they just want to see your negatives. And sometimes you have to beat the respect out of people, and that's what he did. That's what he did. You know, and this is what this sport is about. So congratulations to Sean Strickland. I don't even know the guy. I don't need to know if he's a good or bad guy. He always says that he ain't nothing. That's his words, not mine. So I don't need to get into if he's a good guy or bad guy, but I will say that I'm proud of him because this is a step. This is an opportunity for him to continue to move forward in a positive manner. No matter what they say, he has made history. And this is why I love combat sports. You never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to happen. And Sean Strickland put on a fight that will reignite the joy of combat sports for any fan or for any competitor. He's built like that. He's built like that. So, yeah, guys, that's all I got for now on this one. I heard that, you know, Dana White was saying there might be a rematch. You know, it can be considered, so we'll have to wait and see. I would love to see who Sean Strickland fights next, you know, because at this point I'm kind of hoping for him to at least be able to defend the title one time, you know, and successfully do it. But you never know. You never know in this fight. You know, in this fight game is unpredictable. And I'm assuming that's why we love it. I'm assuming that's why you hear and you listening. Right? So, let me know what you guys think about the fight and how it went down. Do you think if they had a rematch, that Sean Strickland can pull it off again? How did you feel about Adesanya's approach to the fight? Do you think that he lost because he beat himself, Adesanya, or was he just outclassed that night? Let me know what you guys think in the comment sections down below. Thank you guys so much for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. And until next time, hook off the jab.